for the moment at least, we have a shift in emphasis from what should we consider the threat from North Korea to what can be done about it. In other words, what is going to be the role of diplomacy? While he's here, John Kerry is first going to be talking with the U.S. commander of forces here in Korea to get his assessment of the situation. He'll also be holding talks with South Korean political leaders, including the president and the foreign minister, as he tries to get their views on what is the best course forward. Remember, he's got a lot to talk about here, and then he's moving on to Beijing. But already you could hear from South Korean, the Defense Ministry spokesman today, they too, like the Pentagon, were pouring cold water on the notion that suddenly North Korea was able to mount a nuclear warhead on top of one of its missiles. Listen.
North Korea has conducted 3 nuclear tests, but there is doubt whether it is at the stage where they can reduce the weight and miniaturize to mount on a missile.
Now, the North Koreans put out an animation after the last launch, or last successful nuclear test that they had at their nuclear test facility very close to the Chinese border. And in that, they showed a drawing that insinuated that they were trying to miniaturize, that was their goal. But no one has any idea whether they actually accomplished that even during their test. Rosemary?
And Jim, I know you've had an opportunity to talk to some analysts. Be interesting to gauge what their reaction is to this information on the big question, the capability of North Korea.
Well, the capability, and what do you do about it? You know, Rosemary, everybody is looking at things the way that they stand today. And John Delury, an analyst that we talked to here, a university professor who studies North Korea, studies China, says what we really have to look at is what lies ahead of us. Listen.
You know, right now, could they launch an intercontinental ballistic missile and strike the United States? No. But 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, the picture changes. The point is they're making progress. They're making progress with their nuclear program. They're making progress with their missile program. And there's been no diplomatic process to slow it down, to stop it.
No diplomatic process. And, you know, Rosemary, when people try to assess that, you know, if the past is prologue, it's not very encouraging, because the six-party talks, engagements between North Koreans and South Koreans, promises from the North, food aid from the outside world, fuel aid from the outside world, none of this has worked to rein in North Korea's ambitions on either the nuclear or the ballistic missile front. Now, on ballistic missiles, they see that as a source of income, and they sell them around the world. As a result, the threat that we're seeing in North Korea today can be translated to places like Tehran tomorrow.